Hey everybody, this is Joseph with Golden Rule Plumbing Services out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Today we're going to be working on a sewer ejector pump. Customer said that their alarm was going off inside, their high water alarm. And so come to find out, it looks like their float switch has gone bad, because if you plug the pump up directly to the electric, then it works. But so the plug switch, the piggyback, is gone bad. So today I'm going to show you how to replace one of those piggyback plugs. So just bear with me, and it's going to be a little bit nasty for those that have weak stomachs. Alrighty. Alright, so I got me a garden hose in here with me. I'm going to be using that garden hose to clean up some of the toilet paper and some of the stuff in the basin here, so it'll be a little easier to work on. Definitely want to put your gloves on, because this can get a little bit nasty. All right, so what we have here is everything coming in from the house comes into this pipe, goes into the basin here. And then once the basin fills up, the switch, the float switch, turns on, telling the pump to turn on, getting rid of all the wastewater out of here, going out and into the manhole, or into the city street, city sewer. So here's your shut-off valve here, your check valve here, your Studer vent here to help it vent some. So I'm going to pull this. It was pretty loose. I'm just pull this out of the way here, set it aside, and you can see that there's a good bit of water in there. So the pump should be, if it was working correctly, if the float switch was working correctly, you wouldn't have all this water in here. So what I'm going to do is, this is the piggyback I was telling you about right here. I'll pull this out, and here's the pump directly, the switch to the pump, the plug. Just pump that in, and as you can see, it's pumping the water now. So that means the pump is working. It's just most likely the piggyback float switch not working. So as you can see, everything's getting pumped out now. And there's one of the floats right there. And obviously they're not working correctly. So once that gets down to the bottom, I'm gonna unplug it, because if you don't unplug it, then you risk messing up the pump motor. So let's see. So there's what it looks like inside there. There's the sewer ejector pump, and there are some floats and stuff like that. And so I'm going to spray it off a little bit inside of there. Just trying to clean out whatever I can to make it more accessible to work on. Now I'm going to plug the pump back in to expel the rest of the water out of the basin. So there we go. It's pumping everything now. So what I'm going to do is get ready to close this valve here once I feel everything's pumped out of there. So pump, shut this, unplug that, and now hopefully it'll give me enough room to work, because the check valve, see, I shut this because I didn't want any of the water from the pipe remaining in the pipe coming back down, dumping back into here. So I flushed everything out, let the pump run to get everything out, shut this, so now everything's behind this, and probably there's just a little bit in this area where the check valve is. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna disconnect this, probably disconnect a couple of these things, these bands, to separate this and be able to pull the actual pump out of there, or be able to pull this top off so I can work a little bit better. So just bear with me, please. Grab my 10-in-1 here. All right. Get this kind of there. Let's see which way I want to move with this here. Have to pull this side off here. Just loosen these bands enough to where I can pry this up. Gotta break the seal a little bit around it. Okay, there we go. There's gonna be a little bit of water in there still, but also, let's see here. I'm gonna pull this up. Here we go. Pull that up. Pull this up. You don't want to put too much tension on it. All right, so set that to the side. All right. Get my flashlight back right here. All right. So now I should be able to move some of this stuff out the way. These cords and stuff. So what I'm trying to do now is trying to pull this lid. A lot of the time they have the lid screwed on. This one's not. Pull this lid up. So I'm going to pull this up, get that out the way. And now I should, let's see, be able to pull the lid out. Here we go. So obviously I got a little bit, I got a rope or something right here. Let's see when this rope is to help pull it out. See if I can get enough in here. All right, so there's everything right there. Okay, there's everything. So the pump is turned off now, so we don't have to worry about any of that, about getting shocked or anything like that. Let's see, probably gonna be best. So here's going to be my floats right here. Okay. One's going to be, so they disabled this one. That must have been from an old one. So they disabled that one. So they put in an exterior pump. One's going to be to turn the float on, the pump on. And the next switch is going to be a high water alarm switch. So how that works is that you have an alarm inside. In that little box with an alarm on it. So when the water comes in, fills. If this switch for the pump does not turn on and the water keeps rising, then the high water float switch will turn on, letting you know, and inside, then it'll send off an alarm letting you know inside that you have a problem with something going on in the crock here. A float's gone bad, something has happened that's messing up. So let me just spray a little bit of that. So we're gonna find out I'm going to find out which one of these floats is going to be the one I need to get. So let's see. Just kind of follow the wire here. This is the one I'm going to be replacing. The center wire. So let's see if we can pop. There we go. Pop that out. Pop this grommet out. And kind of break the wires there. There we go. Okay. So this is the one I'm going to be replacing. Right here. Alright, so let's find out which one of these we're going to be replacing. It's going to be the piggyback one here. That's what we're going to replace. Piggyback cord. So which one is that? So it's going to be this one right here. There's the one we're going to be replacing. Okay? Right there. So it's got a couple bands on this thing holding it in. Actually, it just looks like possibly one band. So I'm going to try to loosen this band enough to where I can loosen the float. All right, so that's the high water float here. And this is the one that we're going to be replacing, which is right there, okay? So I'm going to have to take that band completely off. Okay. Get that band completely off of there. Come on. She's almost wanting to come out. Alright, so we'll just reuse that band. Band is out. Okay. So this is the float we're going to be replacing right here. Okay, so this is the guy we're going to be replacing, right? Let's see. This is it. This is the guy here. Just going to have to feed it through. All right, there's that. There's the bad float. See, you can hear the switch in there. When that goes, when it's floating like this, sitting in there, the water raises. It engages that, and then that tells the pump it's time to pump on and get that water out of here. Clearly, it wasn't doing that, so got ourselves a new float switch here. Here's this. Here's this guy here. Oh, look at that. Came with a new band. I don't have to use the old one. Okay. So, see, the noise difference was a lot different. This one probably has become waterlogged. It's not sounding correctly anymore. This one, you can barely hear anything. Okay. So that's what we want. All right. Okay. So now the fun part, getting this float rerouted and back in there. Okay, so let's get this guy back in there. Really no need for that rope, honestly, because yeah, we can just keep that to the side there, like that. Just get this out of the way. This rope is just used to pull that pump up if it never needs to be replaced to work the one, but it's not a deep crock. So you can just grab it from here and pull it out. So this rope really isn't necessary. So just gotta keep that out of the way here. Just move that out of the way. All right, so now let's put our switch, pull our switch through here. Pull our switch through. Get ready to get our band back on. I'm gonna use the new band here. Okay. All right, now let's route this switch back kind of the way it was. You kind of want to have a clear path to where it won't, well, hopefully it won't get stuck. Okay, so I guess I'll put it maybe back over here. It's not a very big crock. So obviously this one's the high water float. Okay, so we don't want the new one to go back. So we want it to kind of float out this way, right here. Okay, so okay, come on. Come on. There we go. Got it started. Now, let's get this thing tightened up. All right, there we go. Getting tighter. Getting tighter. Okay. I'm just kind of getting snug here. All right. Good and snug, right? So this one, I'm gonna let this one raise a little bit more. The other one, the high water float switch, I want to come up a little bit higher. So feed more in there. So okay, there's that high water float. Get a little bit higher. There's that. Okay, and now I'm gonna get this guy This guy gonna be right here. Now, test everything out once we're done. Make sure. I just want to get this band getting tight here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so there's that. I'm going to pull these cords, kind of get them out of the way, get them as high as we can, so where they're not going to, you know, interfere with, let's see here, that's going to be there. Okay. Like that. Is that the way it was here? Okay, so get these as high as we can. Put the grommet back on. Just feed these cords through. One at a time. There we go. Till they're sitting in there. Push the grommet back. There we go. All right. So it's not very tight now. And then I'm going to put this grommet back on here. Okay. All right. Now let's see. Might have had a little bit too much slack. We'll see. We'll see. Might have to shorten that slack a little bit. But now we're gonna hook this back up here. Okay. We're gonna hook this back up here. Push that back over the pipe. Push this back in. There's that. Okay, good. Flush. Tighten this one. You want to get these good and snug. Pretty tight. You don't want that band coming off and shooting wastewater everywhere in the crawl space. Same with this one. You want to get it good and tight. Okay. Okay, now what we can do is get ready to plug things back in. Okay, so a new one is our pump cord. So this is going to plug piggyback, meaning that this guy plugs into the back of this, kind of like, you know, riding on a piggyback, somebody's back. So there's that, it's plugged in. And then this will go right into that outlet. So when the new float switch that I just put in rises and engages, it kicks on, turns on, which then engages the pump from being plugged into the piggyback. So they work simultaneously. Now we'll test it. Get the water, raise the level, and see what we have. Let's hope everything checks out. All right, let's see it raise, see what happens. Might have to put a little more slack in there. Oh, one thing I almost forgot. Look at that. Gotta open this back. Or what we will be doing is pointless, because they wouldn't be able to expel the water anywhere. There we go. All right, let's see what happens. It might be, let's see if we can use this here, piece of pipe. There we go. So there it goes, it's working now. So that guy there, let's see. It's gonna see, we got a little bit too much slack in there because see, it's not going back down. So I need to shorten that switch. See that? Or the pump would just get stuck. All right, so I know what we need to do. You just shorten that switch just a little bit more. Shorten that switch. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten it. Okay. Let's see. Shorten it. So where it doesn't have to ride as high. About right here, I'd say. And now, let's see what we can do with that. You just raise it a tiny bit. Shorten the length of it. This is essentially what we're doing, so it won't get stuck on the side of the basin. All right, let's try it again. There we go. Kicked on. Let's see. See if it'll go down easy without getting obstructed. There we go. Perfect. So what I think I'm going to do though is I'm going to get that black high water level switch. I'm going to raise that up here to kind of get it out of the way of our pump switch. So, but anyways, that's how you replace a float switch on a sewer ejector pump. Same thing on a sump pump that gets rid of storm water, gray water, things of that nature. I hope this is helpful to someone, and please subscribe. Take care.